Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast for all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time. I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you live in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics are important to you, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here because God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. I want to begin by saying that yesterday we lost our Facebook connection, obviously our Facebook broadcast, because Facebook was down yesterday and during the broadcast, and so we hope that everyone set a reminder and that you are back with us today live in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable, artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just water. It is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware to support the broadcast, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the Give segment of our, on the contribution pages of our websites at New Life Ministries International and New Life International CDC.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment. We are committed to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So as I announced, at the start of the broadcast, we were on YouTube live yesterday, and of course on our website, and of course on our app, and on RadioFreeNetwork.com live. However, Facebook was down yesterday during our broadcast, so we were not able to broadcast on Facebook Live yesterday. And from what I understand, there's nothing we can do to get back yesterday's broadcast. So you'll have to go to YouTube or to RadioFreeNetwork.com to review that broadcast if you missed yesterday. And, of course, on our app at New Life-Delaware. But we wanted to make certain that everyone knew that we were live yesterday right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. However, Facebook was not able to carry us. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers today who indicated your communication came in last week, and I want to get to that today. You are feeling stressed like never before. You have tried everything, exercise, yoga, and meditation. However, nothing has worked thus far for you, and you want to know what you can do to eliminate your stress. So I'm going to address this by saying, first of all, you've tried everything that you know to try. Now, meditation for you doesn't look like meditation for me. However, what we have to recognize is that meditation is going to be helpful. The yoga is going to be helpful. The exercise is going to be helpful. Sometimes it's not just as simple as doing things that are going to get your juices flowing, get your, to rejuvenate your energy level, which is important. But what you're going to have to find necessary is to identify the source of your stress and eliminate it. So I'm going to share with you what God showed me in that secret place as I was prayerful for you. Your stress triggers are family members. Your stress level has increased due to the anxiety of the pandemic. Those are your stressors. So I'm going to address each of them based on what God showed me in that secret place of your life. One of the problems that you have, the biggest one, is family issues. You know, we all have family dynamics, family issues. You are struggling with family issues that are causing you stress, and then the irregularity of the pandemic, COVID, has compounded your stress. So because of that being added on to your family issues, you are now at a stress level that you've never experienced before. So, and stress is a killer. And I'm saying that as an analogy to say stress will cause you health issues. Stress will kill some people. Thanks be to God that He promised you He would not put any more on you than you can bear. We all know that as Christians. So He's made us that promise. So the stress that you're dealing with right now is not more than you can bear, but it is more than you need to deal with. So you're going to have to eliminate, first of all, the family issues. And you might say, well, Pastor, how can I do that? Because I've had family issues all my life. No. You've only had family issues in different categories over the course of your life. Okay. So you had a challenging environment growing up. But at some point in time, here's how you eliminate that. At some point in time, you have to take control over your life. And you have to say, my parents' issues were not my issues. They had their own issues to deal with. I'm not going to carry their issues with me for the remainder of my life. I refuse to do that. That's one thing you're going to have to, that's a decision you have to make. I refuse to carry my parents' issues with me for the remainder of my life. Then you have to say to yourself, what family issues am I involved in right now that I can eliminate? Now, that for a lot of people is difficult because we often feel that we have to be the one sane force in our families. We have to be the one who is, and we do have to be the example, but you don't have to carry their burdens. And so you have to be willing to say to yourself, okay, my siblings' issues, my parents' issues, I'm not carrying with me for the rest of my life. And whatever issues they've had are not issues that they're dealing with today because your parents have not been together for a very long time. So you have to be willing to let that go. And then you have to be, watch this, we don't get to choose our parents, like we don't get to choose our family. So you have to decide how you're going to deal with each of your parents. On what terms are you going to have a relationship with them? You get to make that decision. And then your siblings, you have to decide how much time you're going to spend on your siblings' issues. Truth be told, you're going to have to allow your siblings' issues to be their issues and don't get involved in them. because it's stressing you out. It's causing you to have stress at a level you've never experienced, which eventually will result in a health issue. So you have to make that decision also. Now, your children and their behavior, because they're still not graduated from high school and college, you're going to have to deal with some of their issues. So, but you can handle that if you eliminate some of the other issues. If you eliminate some of the other stresses, you'll be able to deal with your children effectively and efficiently. And then the other family members. Why do you feel the necessity to get involved in their issues? You have to ask yourself that question, because that's the only way you're going to be able to eliminate those stresses. You have to be willing to say, listen, that's not your testimony. That's not your condition of life. Listen, most of the things that our family members go through and bring to our table are things that are self-inflicted. They're not health issues that have resulted in a loss of job. They're not, listen, they're not cancer. They're not heart transplants. They're not any of those things. Those are life-changing issues that are brought on by health, not by decision. And for me, I can see in that secret place of your life, because God allowed me in. You're taking on the burden of your family issues because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Your parents are not in a position to help anyone in your family, and your family members, their parents aren't able to help them. But because you have a quality of life, everyone depends on you. You know, I have seen this and experienced this so many times in my lifetime. And as a pastor, I even see it more often, because people will, need counsel from time to time. But here's the issue. You have your own life to live. You have dependent children, and you have a husband, a spouse, who struggles with you about getting involved in your family members' lives. And the reason is because you're taking on the problems of everyone else. You're taking on everyone else's testimony and trying to solve the problems. And you're frustrated because your husband won't allow you to do so. Now, I know I'll get some emails about that saying, well, you've got your own money. No, whatever comes into your household, yours and your husband's, it's your family's resources. So if you're spending it out, your husband knows it's disrupting the quality of your lives. If you're giving it out to grown adults who are capable and competent of taking care of themselves, your husband's going to have a problem with that. And you've got to understand that, because he knows that it disrupts the quality of your lives. You've got to eliminate that. Eliminate that function from your life. Because here's a newsflash for you. If you hadn't been doing some things for others, you'd even have a better quality of life. And that's what's causing you stress. It's because you know deep down, pardon me, I'm having problems with my allergies. That's why I sound a bit raspy today. You know deep down you could have a better quality of life. Right now, at this point in time. So you're going to have to eliminate doing what you do for people in your family. Just because you think you're supposed to. You'll eliminate that stress. And then you're going to have to decide that COVID is what it is, and you don't need to stress yourself about the pandemic. This is coming to an end. We just don't know what the end's going to look like, so you're stressing about that also. But one thing we do know is that it will end. And because we know it will end, we know that when it comes to an end, we will continue to live our lives with some adjustments, as some people call the new norm, but we still will have a great quality of life. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. If you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your social activities have consumed your life and you keep going until you are exhausted. However, you do not want to stop enjoying your social life. So the thing you have to ask yourself is your social life really that important? Why do you find it so important to live this consistent, that's the word I'm going to use, consistent social life? You are, and listen, I get it. You're not the only person doing this, living this way. There are many people doing this. You are out. Every day that you can do something, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. Every day that you can do something during the week, you're out doing it. Every day on the weekend that you can find something to do, you are doing it. If you can load up your calendar with activities, you are in your happy place. However, the truth is, you're really not that happy, which is the reason that you're out doing something every time something is available to be done. You've got to find some inner peace. You have to find some inner happiness. You have to realize how important it is to build a great quality of life, and you're not going to be able to do that if you're exhausted. You know, let me rephrase that. You're not going to be able to enjoy a better quality of life. You can build a great quality of life and be exhausted from time to time, but you're not going to be able to enjoy the great quality of life if you're exhausted all the time. You have to really ask yourself, is it really that important? Is it really that important for you to be out all the time? And then the next part of that is, in order to ensure that you're not exhausted all the time, you're really going to have to learn to pace yourself. And for you, it's all about social. So as far as your social life is concerned, I know it was a struggle for you during the shutdown. It was a struggle for you during the pandemic. It was a struggle because social is your life. You've got to learn to pace yourself. So I cannot stress enough that you're not going to change who you are right now. You're not going to do that because you don't realize that you can have a better quality of life than you have right now. You have a good quality of life, but you don't have the best quality of life. And the reason you don't have the best quality of life is because of your social activities. So until you get there, until you get to the place where you realize that if you slow down, you will be able to build a better quality of life. If you stop going all the time and responding to every invitation and finding something to do just because you need something to do, you will find that you're going to continue at this pace. But what you've got to do is you've got to pace yourself. You've got to really decide that you're going to slow down, and even if you don't go out during the week, even if you just don't go out during the week and only pick one day on the weekend that you're going to do something, the quality of your life is going to improve. If you just do that, the quality of your life will improve. And the reason that the quality of your life will improve is because personally you'll be in such a better place, and your professional environment is going to be enhanced also. You're going to find that when you're less exhausted, you're less moody. I'm just using what God has given me to use in that secret place of your life, allowing me to see where you are. You have a lot of mood swings because you don't pace yourself, you burn yourself out. You have moments when you have health issues because you're moving too fast and you burn yourself out. This does not have to be the condition of your life. You have a good quality of life. You do. But you have to want a great quality of life. The people that you're around are not people who are going to lend to you who are going to empower you to have a great quality of life. You're going to have to change some of the people that you're around. Some of the places that you go and the people that you spend time with. You're going to have to change that. Until you get there, you're going to have a good quality of life, but you're not going to have the great quality of life that you so richly deserve. You richly deserve a great quality of life because you've given your life over to Christ. You've surrendered yourself to the Most High God, to the highest power. But you haven't surrendered your habits to the Most High power. I'm praying for you that God will move in your life in a way that you will see, you'll be enlightened, have a greater vision, and that you will see that the way you're living right now is not the way to a great quality of life. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Terrett, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything that a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Terrett at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything that you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been extremely emotional lately, and it is difficult for you to control your emotions, your thoughts, and you want to know, do I have any thoughts on resolving this issue? So let me say this to you. I was prayerful about this. God allowed me to see into that secret place of your life. You're going to have to determine the root cause of your emotional imbalance right now. What's causing you to be so emotional? What is it's not that you're an overly emotional person. It's that you're placing your emotions in the equation of every problem that is coming your way. Every problem that someone else presents to you, every issue that you have to deal with on your own, you are placing your emotions in the equation. So what you have is the problem, and then you're adding your emotions, and that's causing you to be extremely emotional. What you want to do is solve the problems that you can solve, eliminate the equations of problems that you aren't capable of solving. Not that you're not competent, but that you are not capable of solving for someone else. And then you're going to have to look at the root cause. What is it that's causing you to be overly emotional? So, as God allowed me to see in that secret place, you are dealing with some health issues that are causing you to be emotional also. And what's happening is, because you're dealing with those health issues, when other people are coming to you with problems, you find yourself breaking down, not in front of them, but when you're by yourself, you find yourself breaking down emotional. That's not going to help you to resolve your health issue, and it's not going to help you resolve the issue of being overly emotional. You've got to focus on one thing right now. Let me tell you what that is. You've got to focus on your health. And here's what I'm going to say to you. I do have some thoughts that God has been pouring out to me and is continuing to pour out, and that is this. Focus on work, because that's a distraction from your health, and then focus on your health. And I know that might not sound like what most people would recommend that you do, because they tell you focus on your health, forget about work. Work will be a distraction for you from your health. But you go to your appointments, do everything that you need to do to resolve your health issue. And you'll find that your emotions, you'll stop placing your emotions into the equation of other people's problems. I'm going to continue to pray for you, pray that God will restore you to great health, and that you'll have peace that surpasses all understanding. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been